Chaps ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. In 7, 6. Right, App Addicts, episode number 35. The only show where we start the show by counting down from 7. I thought 4 was bold. I thought counting down from 4 was bold. Oh, so let me get that stupid pre-show logo off. I always do that. But no, 7 is the new number. So I'm the first. I want that to be recorded in the books that I'm the first to do that. All right, anyway, let's talk about what we're going to do today. Android App Addicts is a show where we bring Android apps to the table. We have myself and 3 co-hosts come on the show. We all bring apps. We bring news. I read emails, play voicemails, and we just, what do we do, Dor? What do we do on this show? We just
have fun.
We just have fun. All right, so let me introduce the co-hosts right now. First, Door-to-Door Geek, Steve McLaughlin. You should know him by now. What's up, Door?
Hello, everybody. Just glad I'm finally feeling better. I'm feeling so good tonight after the show. I'm going to shave, clean up. Tomorrow, I'm going to skip to work.
Nice. I feel good when you feel good. I mean that. I'm going to shave, too.
Oh, that's good. Finally, the kids are all healthy. The wife is healthy, and I'm not hunched over a porcelain, thing.
Well, I'm really happy. You look good, sound good. Stay that way.
Do my best, sir.
All righty. Tim Kelly from timscomputerfix.com. Hey, Tim.
Hey, Steve. Hello, everyone.
What's happening?
I want to throw my Android phone out the window.
Oh, man.
Hey, it just turns out it's a few hours before the show, my phone decides it doesn't want to download any apps. Or it downloads them, but it doesn't install them. So,
really?
Of course, it's been fine ever since. But a couple hours ago, it just wants to act up. So
tell me about it. That's the nature of technical difficulties. Murphy's Law, right?
You know what?
I hate to say that, but yeah.
Hey, at least we know with these phones, there's ways to correct problems like that.
Oh, I want to hear about that. And lastly, on the show for the first time, Lee Schroeder. What's up, Lee?
Hey, Steve. Not much. Just taking it easy tonight.
Good. Well, I'm glad we could help you with that. You could find Lee on L_SCH on Twitter. Check him out there. Lee, you're also on Linux Basics. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
I guest co-host that from time to time.
And if you guys haven't checked out Linux Basics, I recommend checking out linuxbasics.com with an X at the end. I like doing this when I say that. Okay. Who would like to go first? Tim went last week. Why don't we start with Dor, Lee, and then Tim? What do you say?
Sure.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Okay, Dor.
Okay, first app I got to mention just because I got to mention. Okay, there's this app that I applied for to be a beta tester long time ago, and it's called SPB Shell 3D. It is a very ingenuitive interface. It looks almost unbelievable on a phone what this application can do. The best way I can explain it for the people not on the video is Google search Linux Compiz, and the things you see there are like the things that this home screen replacement can do. Now, for the downside, they want $15 friggin'.
Oh, it's a home screen replacement. Okay.
It's a home screen replacement that does a lot of amazing effects. If you just go to the Android market page down a little bit, it has a video right there you can watch of it. And it's almost, when you look at it, you think it's almost fake because of the things that it does really aren't like the norm at all. Good news is there's a free alternative. And by free, I mean completely free. And I'm going to share my screen here. I actually just installed it, and I did not launch it yet. So first time I go hit home, this was the only thing I didn't like about it.
You're not coming up,
It always
Dor.
takes a second.
I'm not getting your screen. You froze up a little bit.
Really?
or a lot, or completely.
Well, let's give it a second, see if it clicks in.
Yeah, no problem. I am showing the video on the market page in the meantime.
Okay. Now, this replacement application, though, it is called, it's when I sent you the link of, Steve. It's has a really weird name. Begins with R.
Oh, it's like Regina or something like that, right?
Yeah. I'm sorry for the slackerness of this, but give me 1 second. I'll just go to Market My Apps.
Wow, this thing's pretty cool. I'm checking out the video now for at least the paid one. That's badass, and it's smooth.
Well, and I can tell you everything that app can do. When I looked at this app and installed this app, it looked like it did everything as well. It was very impressive in my eyes. Okay, if I just come to AppBrain, because I did install it via AppBrain, go to my apps list, and in any second now it's going to pop up, and it is, come on.
That's okay. We're not watching a nice video here, Dor.
Good, because my tubes are clogged. It's it is Regina 3D launcher. This is probably, to me, the most impressive and easy to understand home screen replacement I think I've seen. We've seen a couple goofy looking ones that do some unique things, and they're sometimes a little bit hard to really understand what's going on, and then it's really hard sometimes to sort through your apps on those things. This one has a definite normal or feel, but the effects that it can do are very eye candy.
It's like a clone of that other one, isn't it?
It is a lot like it, I'll say, and I mean a whole lot like it, by like 90+% exactly like it.
Well, I gotta say, I'm a fan of like the bling here, but I never sacrifice it for functionality. This thing, it's usable.
It has no loss of function that I can see, period. The two things about it: it is brand new, so like that one circle launcher from a while back, once in a while, if you run something really heavy and then go back to home, you see the initializing screen for like 2 seconds.
Okay.
That can kind of get annoying. The part that honestly gets annoying to me is the app drawer is not incredibly customizable. It's the abnormal, in my eyes, horizontal app drawer instead of the vertical. I have over 200 something apps, so if I want to start and then go to YouTube, it literally takes me like 30 seconds to get down to the end of my app list.
Really?
Those are the only two things I think holding me back from using this thing virtually full time. I still haven't, I still like it. There are still things about it that are just really uncommonly smooth and delightful almost to use. But everything that is sweet and smooth is functional. In the very main screen, if you just tap the little icon on the top of the widget,
show us.
It flips and you see
raise it up a little.
Sorry. And you see settings for the widget.
Oh. Check it out.
It's little things
flipping.
like that. And you can change the numbers on the clock. It's one of the stupid things. And it will automatically kick back to the right time. And if you leave the home screen and it says 9:23 and you come back 10 minutes later, the clock stayed the same. And then as soon as you do the clock will flow to the right time. There is a hidden set of home screens too, but you can easily swing around to different screens. Very functional, very usable. To be honest, kind of fun to use. I don't completely grasp the idea of the hidden home screens yet, but they have hidden home screens where you have to hit certain codes to get to it. But going back from screen to screen, they really do make pretty simplistic and pretty easy to do. The best thing about it I can say is that it really does flow remarkably well, especially me, my phone. I got this thing loaded hard, heavy. So I had to mention it. And the scary thing is this was not actually one of my apps. Okay.
What you mean, was it sent in or something?
Because I went on that home screen thing and then you kind of ragged me for a couple weeks, so I'm trying not to do home screens.
Come on, dude. You know I'm just kidding. But
I know. But I got cooler stuff.
One home screen's fine. 16.
Right. I know. Well, there's been a lot too, but this is to me the only one since I've talked that I feel deems worthy to be talked about, and only because it seems really light, really fast, really snappy, really pretty. So I had to say it.
Yeah, I like it. I think it's great. Dor, you could bring home screens anytime you want, just not 16 of them.
Exactly. The next app, though, to me, this is, to be honest, one of the most entertainingly full, that ain't a real word, apps I think I found in a long time. Now, the bad thing is, this is like me saying red sports cars are the best. There are people out there that, I want an SUV, I don't want a sports car. So this is not fitting everybody's needs, but it fits a lot of needs. It's called Wolfgang's Vault. What this application does, it actually connects with the website, but this is just a web app for it. I never even heard of the website. But through this app, you can create a login for free. There's not even an email activation confirmation on it. You just do it. And it lets you stream unbelievably wide spectrum of live concerts to your phone immediately. Now, the free account is a lower quality, they say. My logic is lower quality means easier to stream.
Yeah.
Because when I'm in my concrete building at work and I hit Jimi Hendrix, Band of Gypsies, 1968, Machine Gun, 11-minute song, it literally started a half a second after I hit play, and it played the whole thing with no issues as I was walking around the building.
Yeah, but did it sound like Jimi Hendrix in a tin can?
No, it sounded like it sounded good. And like, to me, one of the tests of how good is your live stuff, to be honest, I'm not a huge fan of them, but I had to go look at their Grateful Dead. And it was at least 30 concerts, I'll say.
Wow.
And it's complete concerts listing.
Is it legit?
Oh, well, legit enough for me. Why do you question the legality of my stuff? This is legit.
I ask every time, and I'm not discouraging it. I just wouldn't. I think I would just want to know, because if it is, I'm impressed. If not, it's like status quo.
Well, I'll say here's one of the reasons why I believe it's legit. There's a large section of more modern stuff not on here. Like, you're not going to find Lady Gaga. You're not going to find Nickelback. You know what I mean? But you will find Flock of Seagulls from 1980, AC/DC.
Right.
A lot of, I think, indie bands as well. I'll just say a huge metric ton of artists. If you like any music at all, unless you only like Big Daddy Kane, dive into the app and take a look, and I'm willing to bet you will find some artists you like to listen to. And honestly, on Pandora, I'm not a fan of live performances. I skip a lot of them.
Me too.
On this, it's like, because I'm going in with the mindset, almost everything I listened to, I liked.
Niceness.
Good find, Dor.
Yes, Dor. Very good.
Oh,
find.
dude, this app was one of the few apps when, as soon as I found it, I literally got giddy. But not as giddy as the next app.
Okay, bring it on.
This next app is called PodTech. Okay, what this app is intended to be, it's intended to be a one-stop central repo, if you will, of instantaneous, on-the-fly, on-demand, I'm listening to audio technical podcast.
What's the name of it again? Oh, you posted it.
Yeah, PodTech by Leanne. Here's the other reason why I like this. I emailed the guy and said, hey, I'm going to first admit I'm kind of biased. But I gotta say I'm kind of biased because I'm on a couple of the guys' shows as a co-host. But can you add podnutz to this list?
Yeah.
Literally less than an hour later, there was an update in the market with an email in my inbox saying, okay, it's done.
Sweet. That's awesome.
Now, I'll say he gets credit, but there's only one podnutz podcast. My guess is that was the one that was currently on the homepage, and it's Nuts at Night. But it's better than nothing.
Oh, crap. No. No.
I know.
It's the only non-really... I say that just because it's the only non-really tech one. Damn.
I know, not because it's SMD, but yeah.
Yeah, it's just... I mean, if this was like... It's called Pod Tech, so...
I know. So I just did this the other day, so I'm going to be ginger with the guy. I'm going to email him back and say, that's really the least technical of the podcast. It's good, but could you please add?
Okay.
I like this because it's on the fly. You can go to different categories, go through the feeds, click the feed, inline, play the podcast right there. When you leave the screen, it does say stay active. So it really is a music player or an audio player that will stay active even if you're doing something else.
I'm getting it right now.
Yeah.
How'd you find it?
I went to App Rain, I went to New, and then I went to the end of the list, and then I worked my way backwards.
Damn, this was an App Rain. Great.
That's how I find most of that's how honestly I find most of my stuff.
That's how I find most of mine too. I'm surprised we don't overlap more often.
Well, here's why we don't. Because I literally went to App Rain and did that 15 times today. Every time I went, there was like 30% of the apps were different.
Oh, good. I'm glad.
Yeah, it's like a very active list. The next app's going to be just a quickie app. It's for the caring parent in all of us that have kids and aren't on a plane flight that doesn't have kids. It's an app called Bedtime Stories by puffbirds.tv. There's more than a couple of them. This is just the one that I came across. It's just a very simple application that lets you go through, pick books, which I don't know the legality of this one, Steve, but because it's, I'm sure, copyrighted content from Disney or somebody. But you just go through, pick a book, and all the books are in basically short story-esque format where it should never take you more than 10 minutes at the most, really 4 to 5 minutes to read a story.
Oh, it's super awesome for parents.
I love it because it's simple, it's colorful, and it's just, you know, maybe 1,000-word, I guess, length story of it.
I pictured Dor. This is how Dor would read to his kids. He'd like hook up his droid through external HDMI to like a big screen TV and mount it over the kid's bed and be like, okay, I'm gonna read a story now, and have it all like teched out. That would be cool. I
would, but my son would probably hit his head on the TV. He's kind of got a melon. I don't know where he got it from. But yeah, this is just, to me, it's a very cool, simple app to use. My son is right now at the point where he's really starting to read better, and he's actually comprehending words. So I literally sat with him tonight up in the bed, and I had it on my phone, and he was able to help me read because I kept stopping at words. I don't know what that word is, Billy.
Look him up.
Yeah. He was doing good. And then just a super quickie, which I know I'd already done in a couple apps. Super quickie honorable mention from our friend Chris Barry. Barry.
Borowy. That's the pronounce.
Well, damn, I'm never getting that right.
I just made it up.
Okay, good. This one is called Doc for Droid.
Okay.
This is very, very, very similar-esque in function to my smart taskbar app that has a little widget on the side of the screen. I hit it and then stuff pops up. But this is more condensed, smaller selection of applications, but it's so pretty. And it's actually intelligent. I like it. My app just throws everything at you.
Looks like a Mac.
It is quite hence I got it from Chris Barrieri, who won't come on the show for some reason. It's very Mac dock bar like.
Yeah.
What happens is at the very bottom of your screen you get a red bar, and you have to literally hold that bar for like a half a second for the menu to be activated. So in some cases it's actually hard to activate it on accident, which is a plus. I like that.
Yeah, me too. Cool, Dor.
And then what happens is, let me see if I can do this. You can see I got applications there, and then when I go back and forth, it's very Mac-like in what it's. And then if you don't, and if you're wrong, you just go up and let go, and the app won't launch, or it will, like it did for me. Decent app. I want to thank Chris for letting me see it. I paid for Smart Taskbar, so I'm probably still going to use that. But this is one I'm going to suggest to anyone who finds it too cumbersome sometimes to go here, no, there, here, there, and then launch an app.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it is customizable with what apps are there, but it also remembers what you use most frequently, and it puts that in there automatically.
Awesome, Dor. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Good stuff. All right, Lee, take it away. I have to step up for literally 30 seconds, but Lee, just go ahead. I will be right back. It'll be like I never left.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, the first one I want to talk about is I was looking for a podcatcher. Now that I actually got my Nexus S, that I was looking around, but the thing is, from the Sansa Fuse I was using before, I always kept it on the fast while listening to my podcast. So it did not have the pitch correction, but it did have it go at 1.35 speed. Well, I did come across a player called Astro Player Nova that actually has the speed increase, and it's the only one I was able to find that it actually can play up to 6 times normal speed.
Dude,
no,
that's
it can actually it can actually go up to 6 times. The thing is, the free app allows you to try the experimental player. It does do the pitch correction even, so it doesn't even raise the pitch.
Wow.
I keep it at 2.5 times speed, and it works just fine.
Dor, where has that been hiding?
I don't know, because people have been asking me for it for months, and I've never been able to find it.
Yeah, so you can actually play like, here, I'll pull up. Let's see.
Perfect for the tech who has fallen behind on the mini podcasts, such as I.
With the 2.5, going the 2.5 speed, and the thing is, with having it pitch corrected, and going at 2.5 speed, going through an hour podcast in less than 30 minutes is awesome. To get through that, it's awesome.
Oh, it has pitch correction. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, question: Did they have a free and a paid version? Do you know the difference?
The free version of the Astro Player Nova, it allows you to try the experimental player, that you can try and see what you think of the experimental speed. You will have to upgrade after using it a few times. So It was definitely worth the $3. I got it. A couple things to watch for on, like, going into the player, that when you pull up the podcast list, what's nice is if you have Google Reader and have your podcasts in Google Reader, it will sync to Google Reader and grab all those podcasts. So if you throw them into Google Reader, you can sync to it and grab all those and not actually have to type them in by hand. So
wow,
nice.
This is gold.
Yeah. 4 stars,
yeah, so
4,000 downloads.
So that's one of the ones that, like, I can have here. I'll put up the screen here that let's see, it has all my different podcasts on here, and I'll see if I can do it. And you can scroll, get it to where it actually takes my finger and actually scrolls through it, but I can actually scroll through it. You have an update all down in the menus down below, that if you hit it, it will pop up showing the update all, and it will go through. The thing is, then when it goes into downloads, you can have it to where then it will, the only down part about it is when it's downloading, it will only do it one at a time, but it will show you which ones are queued up, and it will only download over Wi-Fi. So that is one kicker. But for me, on some of the places where I'm at, I don't always have the best connection except for Wi-Fi, so I'm kind of happy it doesn't try to pull them except for Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
and
sometimes
you can
it's just annoying if it does.
Yeah, and the thing is, you actually have a white and black list on Wi-Fi if you want to set that up, which I did. So I only have my home and my work locations are the only Wi-Fis it will actually even go out and try to download through. It won't even try to grab if it finds an open network or anything. It will only do it on my trusted sites.
Nice.
But yeah, it's funny, if you try to go up above 3 times the speed, it will pop up a little deal saying you will start to see unresponsiveness. But the thing is, I can have it playing at 2.5 speed and sit there and do other activities with my phone. I can be checking Facebook. I can be going through Mustard to check my Twitter and Identica feeds. I can be sending text messages, emails, whatever, and I'm still listening to it in the background because it can run in the background while doing that stuff. The downloads, the new update that just came in yesterday, the update actually allowed it to where now if you're not on the download screen and you hit OK to download, it will start downloading in the background while you're still listening to another podcast. Before, you always had to have the podcast screen up and show that they're downloading for it to actually download. You could still listen in the background, but you had to have that screen up for it to keep downloading. Now, I noticed today and yesterday, after this update, it'll do it just fine. So that was one improvement I was happy to see happen. The thing about it is, like the playlist, like the skin I chose here on my playlist, that when you get done listening to it and it goes on to the next one, you can actually click and hold on the name of the podcast, and it will give you a list, and then down at the bottom it will say delete from SD card. So you don't even have to go back into the podcast or anything. You can just right there on your playlist choose delete while you're listening to a different podcast. It'll have a momentarily lapse for me, and then it will go into allowing right, like it never even skipped a beat, just a momentary pause, and away it goes again on the podcast I was listening to, but already have it removed and not even have to change away from my playlist and stuff. So that's definitely something. The one thing about the podcast, with the playlists, if you go into the playlist menu, which you're going to have to do to get it, if you hit the menu, there's a new auto playlist. You go in there and choose your Astro Player folder and then your podcast folder, and hit select this folder, and it will grab all the podcasts out of all the different feeds and throw them into one playlist, so you don't even have to keep changing playlists or something. It will just grab all of them that are in there at that time, and you don't have to keep going into each individual podcast folder or stuff or individual playlists. You can just grab all your podcasts that you've downloaded. So playing them at 2.5 times, between 2 and 2.5x, I've definitely have caught up with a lot of podcasts I was behind. There's just like 2 strings of podcasts I'm still behind in. Everything else I've caught up because I had some training and scouts and everything else. I got way behind in my listening. In a matter of the last 2.5 weeks, I've gone through my probably about 35 hours of listening at work. I've gone through 70 to 75 hours of podcasts in those 35 hours.
75 hours of podcasting. Does it sound just as good sped up? I mean, is it skippy? I know a lot of programs don't do a good job of doing the speed up.
Actually, between listening to it regularly and listening to the pitch correction, I don't know how well it would go on this mic, but I'll see about even just playing just a little bit. And I can even change it on the fly while you're listening. You can change the speeds.
Okay.
So I'll see if I can I'll just pull up one of them and see if I can get it to where I can turn up the volume and hear it.
Yeah, we can hear it. We can hear it.
This is Windows Weekly.
It does sound like them.
Well, and then I'll take it and kick the speed back down to normal just so you can see.
Yeah.
See what you can see for a difference.
And the pitch though, it doesn't sound like a chipmunk when you speed it up.
That's the nice thing about it. And that was going, and I'll turn it back up. That I'll hit 1.75 right now, and then I can go back in there and hit the more button and start hitting faster and start increasing it back up. And you can't really hear much change except the speed of it, and now I'm up to 2.5x again.
Put it up against the mic again. That would take me practice. I would have to train my ear to listen to that. That sounds too fast. It sounds like they're speaking too fast for me. I mean, it is over your headset through the Skype into my ear now, but I mean,
yeah,
I'd have to. Did you pick it up real quick? I mean, you're easy to understand real quick, or did it take a while?
Well, I started with 1.75, and I've been slowly incrementing that you can hit a faster, and it will put it up by 0.05 speed for each one. So I started at 1.75. Like this one's 2.0 speed right now.
That just sounds funny. All right, I get the idea.
So it's one of those that, yeah, but it's just one of those that it's really awesome being able to pull through and not have them sound like chickmunks.
Yeah, very.
The thing is, I just for just giggles one time, I did kick it up to the 6x, and that one is like, they're and it's like, okay, I'm never gonna go with that.
Could you imagine? Lee would go through like 120 hours of podcasting like a weekend.
Well, when you're going 6 times the speed, I'm going like that. Between 2.5 times, I'm going like a 45-minute podcast in less than 20 minutes. I'm going just fine with that. So I mean, it's I don't really need to pick up the speed, or I'm going to start distracting me too much to where I'm not sitting there doing my work.
Right. I say we have a contest. We should do how fast we could listen to podcasts, and we'd have tests. So you got to see if the guy's really getting the information.
I'd be in last place.
Well, and it does allow customizable buttons to where, like, I have one customized to where I can back it up just by tapping the button to back up by 1 or 5 minutes with going at 2.5 speed. So in case someone tries to talk to me real quick and I can't always hit the pause or pause button quick enough, I can hit the back button real quick of a minute or 5 minutes to go back, jump back. It's very customizable on screens and everything. So, I mean, it's well worth. It's nice to where you can try the free one, try it out, see what you think about the pitch correction and stuff with the speed. It just allows you, I can't remember if it was like 5 or 10 times of playing it faster than normal speed in the free one before it said you now need to upgrade to the paid version. But the $3 I thought was well worth it.
Oh yeah, $3.
I mean,
just curious functionality wise, like dog catcher, like if you're in the middle of a podcast and your phone rings, the podcast will pause after you get through with your call. As soon as the call's over, the podcast would resume. How does that work with that app?
I've only had one phone call kick in, and it worked flawlessly just fine. There's even a bookmark button that if there's a certain spot in a podcast you want to bookmark, all you got to do is just tap it real quick, and it will bookmark it, and you can go back to your bookmarks and pull back up to that exact same spot and re-listen.
That's what my
marks.
That's what my Nokia N810 had, and I liked it a lot because if there was a key point I wanted to remember for later or show somebody else, all I do was hit that bookmark thing, and I don't have that in anything now.
Yeah, that's the thing about me with if I hear something that I really like, I hit the back button by a minute or 5 minutes, get back to where it is, and be ready to hit that bookmark button, and it grabs it, keeps it, and you can go back and later review that. All you have to do is just go into your list of bookmarks, tap it, and away it goes again. But I've only had one phone go, and it paused it. I talked on the phone, got done with it. I don't remember if I had to tap play again or if it automatically resumed. I think it did resume, and it picked up right back where it was left off. Like there was no interruption at all. Awesome. I might have had to hit play. I don't remember, but it was really good on that part of it. So definitely 2 thumbs up on this one. That out of all the ones I could come across, I didn't try dog catcher just because I wasn't really willing to give out that type of money when this one was half the price and actually had the speed up to where you can actually play faster than normal speed. Yeah. So I definitely wanted to try this one out since it had a free one.
Good find. Good find.
So that's that one. The next one I was going to talk about that I kind of like it because I have a few friends that are over outside of the U.S. over in Europe. And every time we talk about temperature and stuff, that they always, of course, is in Celsius, and I am in Fahrenheit. Well, what this does on this one, it's called Instant Temp Converter, and all it does is it pulls up, it gives you a box, you type in the temperature you're talking about, and right below it, it will give you the conversion of what it would be from Fahrenheit to Celsius and Celsius to Fahrenheit. So you don't even have to worry about a C or an F. You just type in the temperature, and it will give you what it would be converted to both.
That's
So,
easy.
Yeah, so if they tell me 20 degrees Celsius, all I had to do is type in 20 and look down at the one that on the right, lower right, that had Fahrenheit be next to it, and it converted it over to Fahrenheit for me. In a matter of just type in the numbers and hit enter, and it's already converted. I mean, it's very,
just looks very
quick,
simple and easy. Yeah, that's the way I liked it.
It's very simple, easy, and just great to have where it's just type in a couple numbers, and away you go. I mean, it's very nice and simple to where, I mean, you just got to remember, I mean, looking down at both of them, it's kind of cool to kind of see that if you type in like the example of it saying like 212.12 temperature at Fahrenheit, it goes over to 100.07 Celsius, or, you know, if it was Celsius you were talking about, then it's 413.82 Fahrenheit. I mean, it just does it. It's really, really quick, simple, you know, sweet on that part of it. So it's definitely something that it's nice to have around. Yeah, I mean, if you're in the sciences or anything like that. So that was a nice, quick, simple app. My next app, a friend told me about on her Android that she has troubles going to sleep sometimes.
What kind of phone do you have, Lee? I
have the Nexus. I have the Nexus S.
Okay.
Where I have the actual true gingerbread experience, and I'm up to the 2.3.3.
Yeah, just rub it in. We don't care.
It's nice.
I guess the one thing I will show on screen here, that I'll go into my settings here, that the one nice thing about it, with it being T-Mobile, that you hit the wireless settings. I don't know if I can get it zoomed up big enough, but right in there on...
Pull back a little bit. I think it'll pick it up if you pull back. There, right about there.
That right in the screen settings and everything, I'll come around to where I can get it pointed, that it actually has in here the tethering and portable hotspot settings, that without ever adding anything right in there, that I can hook up the USB tethering.
Nice.
Or if I check the portable hotspot, all I have to do then is go in there, create my my network SSID. It already has the WPA2 pre-shared password, and away you go.
Wait a minute. Well, how much do you pay for that added feature?
That was nothing.
Really?
Nothing.
What's the carrier? Who's the carrier?
T-Mobile.
T-Mobile does wireless tether for free?
Yep, it's part of the regular data plan. It's right in the regular menu, nothing extra. It's right inside my phone, that away I go.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's one nice thing about T-Mobile, that it's built right in the menus. There's no extra money that you have to pay a month like some of the other carriers I know. It's my unlimited data plan. The only thing I noticed is that a couple of people were talking about it, and I think I'm going to have to check into it, is that once you go past 2 gigs, they start to reduce your speed.
Oh, what a bunch of jerks.
Well, it's unlimited data. The thing is, they just slow you down a little bit.
Unlimited till you get so frustrated you don't want to use it anymore.
Well, but it's better than some of the other unlimited datas that they cap you off and you don't get to exceed it without having to pay more.
Like who?
Isn't Verizon where you get the 5 gig, and once you go past that, you get extra charges and stuff?
Door would be the one to ask for that, right?
If you do it the way they want you to play ball, yes.
But yeah, you mean, but they don't stop you, basically. You've gone over 5 gigs download, right? I can't imagine you haven't. Have you?
Me?
Yeah.
Of course I have.
Okay.
But I'm rooted in everything else. His is part of the actual phone,
that's
and
right,
it's part of the deal.
I forgot you're rooted.
And I'll also state
that's how you get around. Okay.
Yeah.
And I'll also state AT&T did buy T-Mobile, but it is not official until 2012. So if you want to get in on that kind of deal and on that kind of pure phone, you have 6 months or 7 months.
I bought my Nexus S only a week and a half before they announced the buyout. And when they announced that, I was just shaking my head going like, well, T-Mobile's not the best coverage in my area. So if AT&T does go through with it, I know I'm going to have better coverage. The problem is this phone's not 4G capable, the HSPA Plus. So the thing is, the 3G bandwidth that this one uses is what they're wanting to go to AT&T's 4G bandwidth. So basically, I will go back to 2G connections.
Can you imagine? I can't even imagine.
Well, the thing is, I keep mine on 2G because with just going with the 2G connections, which I only use Wi-Fi at work and home, and I'm not out and about that much that I'm using data out in the wild too much, I'm getting between 15 and 18 hours of battery life with going with just the regular 2G and not even doing 3G. So, and that's me tinkering around and doing different things, listening to podcasts and stuff at the 2x speed, you know, out and about, and I can still get 15, 18 hours with that type of usage. So I'm, you know, I can go to work and not have to be plugging in.
Yeah, I guess if you have Wi-Fi all around and in places that you're always at, yeah, but I need my 3G, man. I go crazy with 3G. I turn 4G on, and when that doesn't get a signal, I get pissed off. I'm too spoiled for 2G right now.
Yeah, I can understand with you at 4G, but with me just going from a little flip phone that I didn't even have a smartphone before this one,
right.
The 2G is okay for me. I can handle the little times that I'm not with Wi-Fi, you know, at work or home is where I'm at most of the time. So
yeah.
3G, I do flip on and see if there's 3G available if I really need to use some data, but I flip it back to 2G networks only just so that way it's not constantly trying to go out and ping and hit 3G since 3G is more sporadic out in my area.
Interesting.
So getting back on to what I was going to talk about, the next one I was going to talk about, last one is Relax and Sleep is what it's called. And what it does is it will go in and it will play different sounds of for relaxation, like noise in the background to help go to sleep. And you can have a timer to have it or sleep mode to where it will go off in like an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever. Awesome. And so you can have the free version allows you to create 4 presets that you can load. You can't name them, but you can load up to 4 presets of having the different sounds to adjust it for you, and you hit load, and it will reload back up what you have. But you can star different ones. You can have the different sounds in here to where you can star which ones you really like. You can turn up and mix and play with them.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff. But then, like, one of my presets, I'll go ahead and pull it up here and load it. And then it's just... you can turn it up or down on how loud or quiet you want, but this one just has different sounds to help you kind of go to sleep that you can adjust it for accordingly.
Sounds pretty good, actually.
Yeah, I mean, there's tons of different sounds out there, like campfire, a little bit of traffic in the background, like a night owl, seagulls, thunder, like rain. Let me pull up one of my other presets. I think I even got rain on one of my other ones. That it has the rainstorm.
Oh wow! Yeah, around here. I don't need an app for that. That's pretty cool.
And then it has like ocean sounds and that sort of stuff too. So I mean, it with seagulls that you can. That's another one I use sometimes to go to sleep, and it's kind of a nice soothing. And you can mix and match, you know, as many different sounds as you want. You can increase some, back off others, that sort of stuff. So it's really one of those that it really, you know, it's really nice to have. That I just have a really hard time trying to shut my mind down, I guess, after listening to so much podcasts.
at
my
10x
mind's
speed.
overflowing with, overflowing with information. So,
hey Lee, after you listen to podcasts at 2x speed, do you start talking faster to people?
I don't really think so.
Okay, that would be. I'm just curious.
It definitely, once you listen to 2x and then you like accidentally, like I go into music. And I kick it back down to normal and then go back in the podcasts, you can really tell the difference going like, it's almost like going in a time warp or something going like, what the hell is going on right now?
Yeah.
Why is it, it's like they're talking so slow on that part that it really, and then I'm going like, wait a minute, I forgot to kick it back up. So then I go back into the speed real quick and kick it back up and go like, oh, that's so much better. Now that I've been doing it for a couple of weeks, it's just like night and day difference of doing the different ones. So so it's one of those that, yeah, it's definitely. I
think that your app worked on Timster because he's sleeping right now. Yeah, it worked really good because.
Huh? Oh, sorry. Sorry, fellas.
What a good app. It worked in the mid-podcast with Tim. That's amazing.
There is so yeah. That's,
Yo, you know what puts me to sleep now? The sound of the chips on Poker After Dark. Do you ever watch poker? The chips. You just hear, all you hear is over and over and over.
I guess one last one that I just kind of get a kick out of, that I don't know if you guys know Jeff Dunham, the ventriloquist.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's an Ahmed soundboard out there.
Oh, really?
That actually has all the different ones that you can set for notifications or for ringtones. And so I have notifications of hello of Ahmed saying it whenever I get a text message.
You just made my wife's day. That's gold.
A terrifying terrorist or things like that, you know.
Jeff Dunham.
They have a Walter soundboard and they have an Ahmed soundboard. So I'll put out those links in there, but I have both. It's just I have the ringtones of some of the Ahmed, like the.
Okay. I would be more excited about that, but I'm not a fan.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a little bit of a unique stand-up comedian.
It even has Jingle Bombs in here, the whole version of it, of Jingle Bombs in there. So it's
cool. What is it? Just Jeff? You can do a search for Jeff Dunham soundboard.
It's Ahmed soundboard
soundboard. Okay.
If you just do the search for Jeff Dunham, they also have Peanut.
That one I looked into, and the quality of the sound is really crappy.
Yeah, it's made by somebody else.
Yeah, the Walter and the Ahmed are made by the same person, and so they are a lot better sounding. Like, it really sounds good quality for those two. But the Peanut one, I tried to go through all of them, and after like 8 of them, I'm going like, the quality is so terrible. Like, they were trying to hold up their phone to the TV or something. It was that bad of recording.
Yeah, a lot of amateur hour.
Yeah, it was really bad on that part of it. So my sons really get a kick out of it anytime I get a text message and it says, hello. And I have a few others. I can't think of them right off the top of my head, but I've got a few other things that pop up with Ahmed sound when I have my sound turned on. And my sons get a kick out of it going like, oh, you got an email now. Or, oh, that it's on that part of it. So, yeah, the Ahmed and Walter soundboards are really good. The Peanut one I would stay away from. So
cool. Check them out. Lee, thanks for the great apps, man. I appreciate it.
Oh, you're welcome. So take it away, Timster.
Go, Timster. You awake now?
Yeah, I'm awake, man. That was a great app. Man. Put me to sleep.
Tim, do you have any, or your phone was on the fritz?
No, I have some apps. The ones that I did get installed anyway.
Okay, what do you got?
So have you ever, if you have a girlfriend or a wife, and your busy day, your busy life, man, you're trying just to go through life, working, doing your thing, staying busy, trying to keep the peace, just getting through your everyday, tasks, can be daunting. And then your wife or your girlfriend goes, tomorrow's our anniversary. What have you got planned for us? And you're like, oh, crap. Well,
whatever do you do?
Guess what? There is an app that you can make quick reservations with. And thanks to Steve D'Amico, he turned me on to this. It's called Open Table. And you can go into the app, and basically it's free restaurant reservations at 15,000 restaurants in the U.S., Canada, Mexico, UK, and it's free. So in my area alone, I opened up mine, and there are over 35 restaurants in my area that support this app. So it's really cool. You can search by the restaurant name.
What's this 1,000 points I see on one of these restaurants here?
Yeah, I'm really not sure what that is, but it says that the reward points are redeemable for dining checks good at any table restaurant. So
very cool.
I haven't tried that, but
I guess that's how they make their money, right? Deals with the restaurants.
Yeah. So like gives you locations and reviews, and gives you menus also for the restaurants.
Very cool, man. I like that one.
So you kind of like, you know, make reservations on the fly.
Did you use that one? Did you have? Were you stuck in that situation?
No.
Okay. Just checking. All right, man. What else you got?
Okay, so Door.
Yes, sir.
I got an app here that I think is pretty intriguing. It is everything you wanted to know about beer.
Ooh.
Yeah, and all the terms that are used with brewing beer is all in this app. And things like, let me pull it up here. Like Spider, Stock Ale, Tangy, Tannis. Well, let's start with I don't even know. Like malting, the method of converting barley grain starches to maltose in order to begin fermentation. Basically, it gives you definitions of every term when making beer. So like mashing, what is mashing? The process of combining the ground malt with water. Mashing is performed at either a constant temperature or a series of rising temperatures. This will also help if you ever decide to like create your own brewery, or, you know, maybe try to make some backyard beer.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Just literally hundreds of freaking definitions of
I like that. I'm thirsty.
Yeah, right. Of different definitions of
wow,
words that are used when making beer. So I don't know. It's just something that's interested me.
Very cool.
Yeah. Pretty cool, I guess. the makers of the Smart Ruler and Smart Protractor. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of it, but basically it turns your phone into an actual ruler and a protractor. So like if you ever, I've never even needed this. I've had it installed on my phone forever. But it actually uses like a plumb mode where you have an actual plumb, and so for whatever reason you need any kind of an angle, I mean, it's dead spot on.
That's freaking cool.
And you'd be surprised at how many people who are in the construction business or what have you could use an app like that.
Sure.
Then there's something called Smart Ruler too, that you can just take quick measurements of small objects you can lay right on your screen, and like use the multi-touch feature to measure between the 2 points to get an exact measurement.
I'm such a doofus. I didn't even think about that, man. I've looked for rulers before in the past, like majorly for things that would definitely fit on my screen, and I didn't even think about having using an app to do that. I'm dumb.
Yeah, but like people in school, I mean, this app could work really well.
Yeah.
In like math classes or whatever.
You're so dumb.
I know, dude. I know. I am. All right, Tim, anything else?
Well, it's not really an app, but I have to say this, and I'm really disappointed by anybody who was hoping that Doom would ever be coming to the Android market or anything id software related. Don't hold your breath too long. Now it did make Rage for iOS, and it is really amazing, but it says they don't plan on coming to Android anytime soon because, quote, it's not as profitable.
You know what? They've been around a while, but they're a bunch of cowboys. They'll change their mind at the drop of a hat, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it. I think it will. I bet you it will.
Well, I sure hope so, because it would be a great addition to the app market.
Yeah.
Okay. You forced me to throw this game out, Timster. Who needs id? Who needs id? Okay. Everybody says one of the best games, period, is World of Warcraft. Am I wrong?
Depends.
You're wrong.
Oh,
No,
I
don't
know.
say I'm wrong. You're
I
supposed to
don't.
say I'm right. Come
People,
on.
people have said that, I'm sure.
Yeah, but we don't listen to them. There's a game called Pocket Warriors, I believe it's called, that everybody says is WoW in your pocket. I literally just downloaded it today or yesterday, and I gotta say, I do not like the idea of WoW. I've actually played it for a little bit. I did not like it at all. I kind of like this. It's called Pocket Legends. I'm sorry. This does have on-screen controls. I'll say in most games, I'm utterly annoyed with on-screen controls. This one actually does them kind of smooth, kind of easy. There's not a whole lot of work involved. It is WoW-esque. When you first join, you're in a
It's a little droid.
there's a community world you're in where it looks like you're online with other people, online RPG kind of thing, to where you can communicate with everybody. It is really smooth, I'll say. Very smooth. Fighting, you can pick, how you're attacking, or you can just hit once and it will go into auto mode. So it's actually pretty diverse, pretty ingenious on how it works. Very smooth, and I can tell you it actually uses low bandwidth. There's not a lot going on over the network. Pretty easy to install, pretty smooth to install. We don't need no Doom.
Nice, Door. That looks pretty damn awesome for a phone app. That looked like really clear, professional looking. Looks like
Well, absolutely. But my whole point is it is they're really talented people, and their games, Wolfenstein. I mean, who wouldn't love Wolfenstein on an Android device? Even though, yes, there are games out there like that. I just think it's sad because they've kind of pulled away from the PC side of gaming too, and now they're sticking their nose up sort of to the Android side of things. So yeah, I don't know. I myself am a little disappointed.
Well, let's see. Have hope, Timster. I think they'll come around. There's no way Android's not profitable. That's just silly. They're just being stupid. They were drunk that day or something.
That exactly, yeah. And I hope that holds true. But according to this article from the Android guys here, that's quote. That's quoting them. So,
did you ever read Masters of Doom, that book about id Software? Read that book and then tell me that what those guys say is written in stone. They may have said that, but I think there's hope. I feel like I have an intimate knowledge of this. Trust me. All right.
I hope you're right.
Okay. Did we ever do My Piano? Did we ever do that app?
I don't think so.
Okay. My Piano is pretty cool. Check this out. It is, as you guessed, it's a piano app. And it is a piano. It's loading the instruments now. Let me turn up the volume. Because this thing has a couple cool features. Okay, number one, it is just a normal piano. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Sounds pretty good, but you could actually play full chords on the thing. Double notes. But here's the coolest thing. It actually has a sampler. So I could pick my mic option, and I'm going to hit record new sample, and I'm just going to say something into it. Hello, 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 hello. Okay, now I recorded that sample. Now I can actually, all the keys actually play the sample, I think.
Hello, 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 hello.
That's pretty damn cool. It brings you back to the days when you had that little Casio keyboard. It was like the first sampling keyboard like ever made. I don't know, when I was a kid in high school, we used to bring them to school, and everybody would make fart noises into it and stupid stuff like that. But this thing does have it actually does have different instruments. You got, let's see there, grand piano, electric piano, Rhodes piano, synthesizer. I haven't tried synthesizer yet. Here's a synthesizer. It's always handy to have a little piano around, I guess. Anyway, that's that app. And this one's called Robot Guitar. Dor, you brought this one or no? I know you played this.
No, I brought an app called Solo. I believe.
This one's called Robotic Guitar. robotic guitarist free. Hit the Let's Play button, and this is pretty cool because it has electric guitar. Let me pull up the electric guitar. You can pick your instrument, electric guitar. Okay. And it sounds like electric guitar. Let's see. That's it. With the free version, you have to wait 3 seconds before you can play. It says not now. Let's see what this sounds like. That was lame. But anyway, you strum it. You just strum the phone.
Right.
And you pick the chords, just like the one Door had. But I like that it had electric guitar. I don't know if yours had that, Door.
Don't believe it did.
Anyway, that is what I have for today. I did have a GPS app call. I'll talk about it real quick. GPS Essentials. It's just this. It's called GPS Essentials. It's this mother load of an app. I mean, it just has everything. You pick the dashboard, and it basically has all these open slots, just slot upon slot of openings, little squares, and you could put in these squares almost any kind of like GPS related data you could think of. Like we got bearing, latitude, longitude, average speed, and just fill this thing up and have it totally customized. So, you know, you're out camping, whatever, you just have all your squares, like this huge grid of just vital information that you need, compass directions and everything. I thought that was pretty cool, pretty handy to have. Satellite information, charts, waypoints, maps, compass, camera, and it was called GPS Essentials, something like that. Anyway, that's that one. GPS Essentials.
Hey, I got to hold and play with the Motorola Zoom the other day.
Nothing special, right?
Did.
No, not really. I mean, you know, it's fast. It's definitely fast. You know, front facing and rear facing camera, but the one thing I really didn't like about it, honestly, is it might be kind of silly. The thing is really heavy.
That's the same thing like the iPad. That's really why I don't like it, Tim. Isn't it?
How much does the iPad weigh? Because
about that weight.
1.6 pounds is what that Zoom weighs. Now I was holding the Color Nook, which is relatively the same size, and man, it's half. Of course, it's not it doesn't have the hardware capabilities, but it is easily half the weight.
Oh, totally, dude. And the Galaxy Tab came down. I went to Best Buy today. It's $150 on Sprint.
Really?
Oh, wow.
If you get the a 2-year contract of $30 a month. But
you know what stinks? I'm sorry, Steve, about the Best Buy in my area. I go in there to look at some pads, some Android tablets, and they have one tablet.
Which one?
It's the Motorola Zoom. There's no other tablets in there.
They don't have the Galaxy Tab?
They have no other tab in the whole entire
Super
store.
lame.
And the one I want to touch and feel is that Asus EE something.
Yeah, Jonathan actually wrote in on that. Here's what he said. You mentioned the Atrix on the last show and its docking function, and how you liked it better than the Asus ePad. The reason why I think the Asus is better is because on the Atrix, when you dock the phone, you don't get Android to come up on the notebook dock. Instead, you get some custom Linux distro that comes up on the screen. I thought with the Atrix, when you docked it, it pushed Android onto the screen, but this is not the case. When you dock the Asus, you actually use Android that's built into the pad, which is much cooler. Thanks for the show. Keep up the great work. Jonathan's coming on the show next week, by the way, guys. That's
a really good point. I honestly, even the bad commercial with the guy at the TSA, it's a phone, it's a computer, it's a phone, it's a computer. They even show you it isn't the same thing. And because it's custom, here's what really scares me, being me. The lack of ROMs that will exist for that thing and the lack of upgrades you'll probably get for that thing. Because it's so customized, my guess is it's harder, takes more work to make updates for it. Where with the EE thing, ponage, here I come. I mean, it's just Android, and it's in its simplest form, which to me makes it more flexible.
Good point. Any other news, guys, before I read a couple emails here and then we end off?
I'm really news light this week.
That's okay. We got a bunch of emails. Anybody else? Quickly, Lee.
Yeah, no, I haven't heard anything really new on the Android deal this last week.
Okay. I'm going to read some emails. Jeff says, I was reading the article below. What kind of speeds upload? And I'll tell you the article in a sec. What kind of speeds uploading and downloading on 4G do you see? If I use Sprint towers, I get 80 kilobits per second here on 3G. On Verizon towers, if I use an XDA hack, I get a 1700 kbps. See, now this is the thing with the Galaxy Tab. It's Sprint that's down to 150. Verizon's down to 200, both with plans. I think 2-year plans. But still, that's pretty damn low, and I still like the Tab. Anyway, the article that he refers to is in AndroidHeadlines.com. It's called Sprint Responds to, quote, Faster Verizon 4G Tests. So according to Jeff, he actually does get faster on Verizon. I haven't read the article, but I'm betting the article says that Sprint's probably saying, Verizon, you're full of crap. So check it out if you want. It's at AndroidHeadlines.com. Sprint responds to faster Verizon 4G tests. It's a short article. Let me read it real quick, actually. Last week, BTIG research analyst Walter, and a team concluded tests in New York putting Verizon's new 4G LTE network against Sprint's 4G. The results showed 9 megabits per second down and 5 megabits per second up for Verizon, while Sprint only had 1 megabit per second down and up. This is a problem for Sprint because anyone reading those findings could switch to Verizon from Sprint if they hadn't already. Not wanting to lose any business, Sprint sent BGR response stating what now seems obvious. Verizon only has one phone on the network. The full response from Sprint is listed below. Basically, the Verizon network is too new and has too few users on it for these tests to be accurate. If the numbers remain the same after a long period of time, then Sprint will be in trouble. Until then, these tests are inaccurate and don't fully grasp the entire situation. Okay, so you could read Sprint's response in full at the article, but they're saying Verizon only has one phone on the network. I think it's BS. I think that, well, Jeff tested it himself, and I bet you that Verizon is just faster. We'll see what happens. Okay. Next email here is from me. Why did I put this? Oh, did you see this dance? I don't know who sent this in. This crazy Android dancing robot is freaky. Have you seen this?
Oh yeah, it's great. There's actually a couple of them, and they're mostly overseas, I think.
What's up with this dude? Check him out.
Oh yeah.
He moves unnaturally fast. It's weird.
Yeah, and like snappy.
Yeah, look at him.
Move stop.
He comes so close too to like some of the objects and people around. Like, how could he control that thing so well? All right, here he goes. Oh, like when he kneels down.
Mm-hmm.
Look at it's just weird. Look at him. That's just weird. Anyway, you can check it out. It's called Android on Crack on YouTube. All right, next email here. Sorry, I'm rolling through these last few real quick, but we're going a little long. Okay, hi, Steve and co-hosts. I listen to audio only Android App Addicts walking the dog and while driving to work. Many times I will be interested in the app while you talk about it, and I find most times you have said the name before I became interested. How hard would it be to either recap the name at the end of the description or recap all apps mentioned at the show end? Well, show end is too hard work, sorry. But
well, I got the list.
I can, you got your list.
Yeah.
Oh.
I bet it's everybody's.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, maybe we could do that, or I'll do like, and that app was blah, 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 or something like that. He said, also, I would like to submit my interest in being a sometimes co-host. Ooh, all right, cool. Sean, I will contact you on that. Thank you for very much for the email. This one is from BT, or Tom. Here is a question for your AAA show. How can I make a text file appear as an app so that I can tap it and it will open without having to open that app, and it will open that file, and then open that file? I don't want to hack my OS, Door-to-Door Geek. So he wants to do it. He wants an app like that without having to hack his OS.
You don't have to hack it. When you click on a file, it should prompt you what application you want to open with, and there should be a checkbox at the bottom that says always use this application. So the only question is, do you have an application installed that can read the text file?
There's got to be one. Is there a stock one? Is there a stock one on these phones?
Honestly, Dropbox has a built-in app to read text files, and the one, honestly, I think I got from Timster AK Notepad, and then there's just one called regular Notepad. I believe all three of them. If you have a TXT file, you just simply click and it will ask you what app you want to load. Click the box, boom, good as gold.
Was that you, Tim, who recommended AK Notepad? I thought it was Steve D. Maybe both
I
of you
think
guys.
that was Steve D.
Okay.
I tried.
Tried to give Timster the credit.
I can't take credit. I can't. I'm Note Everything. Is the one I read.
Oh, right.
Yeah. All right. Jerry says, I thought this sounded funny. I immediately thought of Android App Addicts. This is a clip from Get It Done, Guys. Quick and dirty tips, how you can choose the best apps. Episode number 172. All right, let me play this and hear what he's talking about here. Okay, this is from Get It Done Guy. Oh, no, that's
Robbins here.
That's the whole podcast. Here, he actually just has a clip. Here's the clip.
The first rule of selecting apps is to know what you need. Don't browse the App Store. If you see a colorful icon and are tempted to click on it to find out more, say to yourself, "This is my life I'm wasting."
Oops. Oh, God, I muted it by accident.
Oh,
All right, let me
an app that can help me figure out what color my rule of selecting apps is to know what you need. Don't browse the App Store. If you see a colorful icon and are tempted to click on it to find out more, say to yourself, "This is my life I'm wasting." Oh, look, Angry Birds. This is my life I'm wasting. Wow, an app that can help me figure out what color my groceries are. This is my life I'm wasting. Got it? Start with your needs. A memo pad app, and go from there.
That's just a 30-second clip. I like how he presented that. Especially
I'm sorry. I kind of missed what he was saying. I was looking at apps.
Don't be tempted by the colorful App Store. Do get what you need.
Dude, I've installed 3 since the show started.
All right, last email here is
Trying to rub it indoor.
Not at all,
I've installed
sir.
a couple. I've installed a couple as well.
So did I. Oh, this was the one door Regina. You already talked about Regina, so I don't have to play that or show that. Awesome. I just put that in the notes just in case I forgot there. So, all right. Anything else, guys, before we end off?
Well, the only thing I would say is I forgot to mention that I am on AppBrain as L_SCH. So if you ever want to check out, see what apps I'm looking at or have on my phone, you can definitely check it out on that. So
Awesome. All right, well, let's roll around here and just give last comments where people can reach you. Well, you just did, Lee. So, so that was Lee, guys. Lee Schroeder. Lee, thanks very much for being on the show, man.
yeah, thanks for having me on. I had a good time.
Great. Me too. Door, how about you?
DoorDoorGeek.com. It's going to be doing a little overhaul here soon. Or you can always go to Twitter.com or Identica, username DoorDoorGeek.
Awesome. Tim?
Google hit 3 billion Android apps installed now.
Wow.
Yep, and there's over 350,000 Android devices being activated every day.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, they
Tim's
wouldn't have hit that
computer
number.
fix-
They wouldn't have hit that number if it wasn't for Door. So Door, they should be thanking him.
No doubt, man.
For the real AAA.
Yes, the real AAA. Yeah, but yeah, it
Yeah.
reminds me. Sorry to they hijacked all the iTunes ratings on the Android app. Or they put 3 shows up, all different formats, and they just like got
I
the
know.
top 3 places. I'm gonna punch them.
And have you listened to it?
I listened to like one of their pilot episodes, and
It's not very good.
you know, what can I say?
Leo's not on it. The you know they're reaching and stretching and doesn't have the value. I'll say.
Yeah, good. Thank you, Tim. Where can people reach you?
Tim'sComputerFix.com and on Twitter at Timster_.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for tuning in, watching, listening, streaming. That's going to be it for Android App Addicts for this week, and we'll see you next time.